Thinking about buying a new dive mask? Don't fall for the price tag. After years of diving, I've learned that expensive doesn't always mean better, and some high-tech features can actually ruin your dive. In this video, I'll expose the truth about overpriced masks and why some fail underwater, and how to choose the perfect mask for your best dives yet. I do want to mention before going deep here that I am showing my own gear in the demonstrations here, and I am not advocating you go and buy the same products as me. This video is meant to be more of a timeless video that helps guide you to make the right choice in the best scuba dive mask for you. Okay, here's what you need to know before you buy. Let's start with price and color. Some assume the most expensive or flashiest mask is the best, but that's not always true. Dive masks range from $50 to $200, and some high-tech models like full face masks with the ability to talk to others during the dive can go for thousands. But price and brand are always the most important factors. You need to focus on the right features. And before you even think about using a snorkel mask for scuba, don't. Snorkel masks are not meant for deep water and lack the tempered glass and silicone seal needed to keep water out and help you equalize. Also, free diving masks are built for different purposes too, and optimized for different problems. And so for scuba diving, you really want a scuba diving mask. Now, let's talk about the mask skirt. A clear skirt lets in more light and expands your peripheral vision, while colored skirts create a tunnel vision effect, which can help you focus. I've used both, and I personally lean toward the tunnel vision because clear skirts can sometimes be distracting, especially when it's very sunny and there's light all around. The sun shines through the skirt and it can be really quite distracting. Some might prefer it, some might hate it. There's no real right or wrong here. It's really about preference. Frame color matters too, and you should find a color that's personal to you and stands out. A bright or unique color makes it easier to spot your mask in a pile of gear or if you drop it while on a dive. Plus, if you're diving with a group, a distinct color helps you quickly recognize who you're looking at underwater. If everyone's wearing a black dive mask, the most plain dive mask possible, you're going to quickly find everyone looks very similar. I mean, there's other features you can look for, but you'll see what I mean. Next, let's talk about fit. Even experienced divers overlook this. Imagine you're drifting over a beautiful coral reef, but your mask keeps flooding. That's going to be super frustrating, right? The issue might not be the mask quality. It could just be the wrong shape for your face. As you dive deeper, the water pressure pushes the mask onto your face. So if it doesn't match your facial structure, even a small movement like smiling at a passing turtle can cause leaks. And I also want you to note here that certain brands offer specific facial structure fits, such as Asian fit masks, which might help fit certain individuals. So it's worth looking for those brands if most masks aren't fitting your face, and you can try those out and maybe it'll just provide a better suction than a normal mask. Here's a simple fit test. Press the mask to your face without the strap and inhale gently through your nose. If it sticks, you've got a good seal. If it doesn't, there's gaps. Now smile. If the seal breaks, the mask doesn't have a great suction, but may not still be the end of the world, but keep looking for a better fit that will stay suctioned on even while smiling. To all men, here's a tip. Shave before testing or diving. Facial hair can break the seal, especially along where the mask is going to fit. If shaving is an option, a little silicone grease under your nose can help. The biggest areas for facial hair is usually under the nose or over here under the cheeks. Just make sure to shave these spots and under the nose, and it usually helps considerably. Even a great fitting mask can leak if there's stubble in the way. Most modern masks use silicone for the skirt and the strap because it's flexible durable, and more comfortable than rubber. Stick with silicone until something better comes along. Get the right mask that fits well, and you can focus on enjoying the underwater world instead of constantly clearing it. And once you find a mask that fits well, buy a backup. It's a smart habit to have a spare in your save a dive kit or even on your person during a dive in case your main mask fails or falls off. Get a backup mask for stress-free diving. Now, let's take a look at what many tout as the holy grail of features for diving masks. A lot of divers think lower volume is always better, but that's not necessarily true. Mask volume affects more than just how easy it is to clear water out. It can make a big difference in your dive experience. Low volume masks sit closer to your face, making them easier to clear and equalize. They're also more streamlined in the water. Free divers use a mask that is as low volume as they can get because they have very limited air supply. But for scuba, we have a lot more air, and divers find them uncomfortable or feel like they lose peripheral vision because of how the eye needs space to focus underwater. So lower volume can actually hamper your visibility, and higher volume can increase your visibility. High volume masks give you a wider view and can be more comfortable for long dives, especially if you're into underwater photography. But they're harder to clear and equalize, which can be a challenge for new divers. Your diving environment matters too. If you're in a tight cave or doing deep technical dives, a lower volume scuba diving mask is the way to go. But if you're floating over a reef, looking for marine life, a high volume mask with a wider field of vision is fine to use. It might be good to experiment going as low as you can tolerate with volume without missing the features you need that a higher volume mask can afford. In the end, choosing between low and high volume masks depends on what's more important to you. Now, let's talk about framed versus frameless masks. Frame masks are durable and customizable, making them great for tough conditions and allowing for things like prescription lenses, but they're bulkier and create more drag because of the nature of that higher volume. Frameless masks are lightweight, can offer a wider view, and sit closer to your face, making them lower volume. They lack customization and can't be repaired if the lens breaks. Then there are full face masks, which let you breathe normally through your nose and mouth. They can be great for divers with breathing issues or those who feel claustrophobic with a traditional mask, but they make equalization harder as you can't easily reach your nose, and usually you have some device or something to allow you to get to your nose, but I don't think many people find it as convenient as a normal dive mask. And if they fail, you lose both vision and air access, so you'll still need a normal mask along with your full face mask, just in case. Plus, they're expensive, easily over $1,000, and require special training. I personally avoid open face masks for these reasons, and for most regular divers, the downsides outweigh the benefits. For most divers, a standard framed or frameless mask is a better choice. All of my masks are framed, and usually free diving masks are frameless. But what I want you to take away is being able to tell the benefits between the framed and frameless. Again, there is no absolute best. There's always pros and cons. And now we are going to look at the hidden weak point that could turn your dream dive into a nightmare. I've learned this lesson the hard way, breaking several masks at the most inconvenient of times. And when your mask strap fails, best case, you find a replacement. Worst case, you're dealing with a flooded mask, or even worse, losing it mid-dive. I recently traveled all the way to Indonesia, excited for some dream diving in Lam Bay. After my first dive, I went to take off my mask and snap! The strap broke instantly. The worst part, the connection was built into the silicone, meaning it wasn't repairable. You can see that here. That is not fixable. And wouldn't you know, this is a trip I decided not to pack a backup mask. Luckily, the dive shop had a rental, but the fit was terrible. It leaked throughout every dive, and I constantly had to clear it. And this is probably for about 50 dives. It was not fun at all. Most modern dive masks use silicone straps, and for a good reason. They're durable, comfortable, and hold up well against salt water. And they're also flexible enough to keep a snug fit without causing a headache on long dives. But not all silicone straps are created equal. Look for a mask with a wide, soft strap. Some come with quick adjustments like this, which can be great if you're tweaking the fit mid-dive. Just make sure that they stay adjusted. Some come loose at the most inconvenient of times. So give it a quick tug. This one's, well, okay, it shouldn't go anywhere if it's fitted right. But I have had experiences with dive masks, rental dive masks especially, where no matter what you did, that thing would just loosen during the dive. Silicone also gets brittle over time, so keep an eye on potential weak spots, especially around the buckles and joints. These are the most common failure points, just like the one that failed on me. And you can look at the strap too. Generally, small parts of it are generally also prone to snap as the silicone gets more brittle over time. Like this point here could also snap. You have to kind of assess how many failure points are in your dive mask. Now, if you want an alternative, there are also neoprene straps that are worth considering. They're super comfortable, they won't snag if you have long hair, and you can even get a custom design to represent your favorite dive shop or location. The downside, they're not as easy to adjust, and they can feel a bit looser than silicone. If your mask fits perfectly, that's usually not an issue. But if your seal breaks even slightly, you could end up with leaks easier. But if you have a well-fitted mask, this may not be an issue. So it's all about that fit. They will hook into the connection points of your mask frame and swap out with the silicone one that the mask came with. Now, let's focus on the most critical part of the strap, the connection points. This is where the most masks fail over time. The silicone connectors are prone to ripping, especially in cold water or prolonged sun exposure, so make sure to keep these things out of this direct sunlight. Take a look at this mask that failed on me. See that the tiny pivot points where the strap connects, that's a major weak spot. If it breaks, you're out of luck. Now, compare it to this other mask. The connection point is much thicker and more durable, meaning it's far less likely to fail. It can, and it still will fail over time, especially if I leave this in the sunlight. But you can see it's much thicker, and that provides a little bit more durability. This isn't about one brand being better than the other. It's just something to keep in mind when choosing a mask that'll last. And of course, one that won't snap on you, hopefully while you're on a trip far from home. You can always avoid straining your mask strap by loosening before you take it off and tightening it as you put it on, which some masks have quick adjust features for which come in handy for this exact reason. When it comes to strap tightness, finding the right balance is crucial. Your mask should feel snug, but not too tight enough to cause discomfort. This will only lead to a terrible headache on your dive. Of course, a tighter strap can compensate for a less well-fitted mask, but normally the pressure from the depth is enough to secure it. I once met a diver who wore a mask with no strap at all, which is impressive, but honestly, I wouldn't recommend it for most divers. It's dangerous. Trust me, before diving, loosen the strap, put on your mask, then adjust for a secure fit. This will help protect the strap from snapping and extend the lifetime of your mask. The mask should stay in place when you shake your head, but you shouldn't feel discomfort or pressure points around your face. Now that we've got your mask secured, let's talk about what you're actually seeing through it. The lens of your mask can turn a blurry underwater world into a crystal clear spectacle. A lot of divers struggle to see well underwater, but that doesn't have to be you. Even if you wear glasses on land, you can still have great vision while diving. The right lens choice can open up an entirely new world beneath the surface. That said, no matter what lens you choose, all lenses can fog. So fogging isn't really a factor when selecting the right mask. Keeping your mask clear is a different challenge altogether, and I'll give you some tips on that later in the video. When it comes to dive mask lenses, you've got two main choices: a single pane or a double pane. Single pane lenses are simple, and if they start to fog, you can clear them easily with little water and quickly swirl. Double pane lenses, on the other hand, are great for prescription inserts, but some divers find a divider in the middle to be distracting. It's best to try both types to see what works best for your vision and face shape. Lens tint can be a special feature that can make your dives better. Clear lenses show natural colors, which is great for coral reefs. A light tint can help in bright water lit by the sunlight, and some levels of tints can help bring a little bit of color to the reef at depth. I want to recommend avoiding reflective lenses. I don't have one to show here, but they look like mirrors on the outside, so you can't see the person's eyes. This can be a safety issue since eye contact is an important way to communicate underwater. Otherwise, if you need help seeing things up close, bifocal masks have magnifying sections at this bottom for reading gauges without messing up your overall vision. If you wear glasses, don't worry, you can still see clearly underwater. Many framed or double pane masks can be fitted with prescription lenses, which really improve your diving. Stick-on lenses are good for occasional dives, while custom-made masks are made for those with specific vision needs. When choosing prescription solution, consider how strong your prescription is, what kind of mask you prefer, and how often you dive. Custom lenses are more expensive, but they offer a better fit and clarity. Just make sure if you are changing out your lenses on your mask, you have someone who has done it before walking you through it. I've heard stories of people accidentally breaking their mask because those tiny little clips hold the lenses in place can be tricky. At the end of the day, being able to see clearly underwater makes your dives so much more enjoyable and memorable. The ideal mask isn't just about fancy brands or cool colors. It's all about finding the right fit for your face and how you dive. A well-fitted mask is essential for every dive, whether you're exploring coral reefs or deep wrecks. It's your window to the underwater world, so go try a bunch at your local dive shop. Really get a good feel for the fit of each mask and which one fits your face. The perfect dive mask is to be the one that fits your face the best. And if you're in the market for some fins too, before shopping, watch this video here. If you're looking for tips on how to keep your mask clear, check out this video here. And until next time.